Welcome back. Here in Ohio, we are seeing some changes to funding for public schools. House Republicans suggested adding $226 million for public K through 12 education. Now, that may sound like a lot, but critics say this actually underfunds schools by $2.75 billion. 10 TV's Brent Caswell joining us now with some reaction to this. And Brent, I'm sure that amount that got slashed is really concerning to parents and even school districts.
Absolutely. Parents are not thrilled about this, and they're not thrilled because their biggest concerns are not enough funding will keep falling back on them through levies and other increase of taxes.
Hilliard City Schools parents are outraged about the possible public school funding cuts. This dad I spoke to wanted to stay anonymous to protect his children's identities.
Something that shouldn't be very political, educating our kids and keeping them well educated is getting in the way of their education.
According to the nonprofit Policy Matters Ohio, under the Fair School Funding Plan, Hilliard schools would need over $7.3 million in funds over the next 2 years to educate students. Under GOP House leaders' amended plan, it would provide just over $780,000. His dad feels there's no end in sight, even after Hilliard passed a major school levy last November.
Well, they're just going to come back to us for a levy, right? I mean, whatever it might be. It might not be as significant as the last one, but or they'll threaten teacher cuts. One way or another, I'm going to pay for it, either negatively out of my pocket or negatively from my children's education.
This May, Southwest Licking County Schools has a bond on the ballot asking voters to approve funds to build a new middle school, expand the high school, and add a new training and aquatic center called the Spear in partnership with the YMCA. Superintendent Dr. Casey Perkins says this will cost taxpayers $12.25 for every $100,000 of their property's value.
Do you feel like if there was more adequate state funding, you wouldn't have to go to the taxpayers asking them for this money?
I think how we do funding in the state of Ohio in general can be tricky for schools. I do think it's important that our current legislators look at maintaining the current funding formula and how it is, and they consider growth as well. When you don't fund schools for their growth, that's when you really tie our hands.
In developing substitute House Bill 96, Finance Chairman Republican Brian Stewart said in part, quote, "This fiscally conservative budget will deliver significant, swift property tax relief for all Ohioans, while simultaneously increasing funding to every public school district." Ohio Education Association President Scott DeMauro says House GOP leaders did manipulating fuzzy math.
It's the state passing the buck and not living up to its constitutional responsibility to fully and fairly fund our schools.
We reached out to Governor DeWine's office for a statement, and we haven't heard back yet. Now, this new amendment to HB 96 is now going back to the House Finance Committee to be debated. The proposed state budget must be finalized by July 1st, so there's still a long way to go.